time. It is the one element of life that flows endlessly, silently, and without mercy. It does not stop. It does not pause. It does not wait. From the moment we are born until the moment we take our last breath, time is like a river, carrying us forward whether we are ready or not. The Greek philosopher Heraclitus once said, "No man ever steps in the same river twice, for it is not the same river, and he is not the same man." This is the truth of time. Just as water flows past and never returns, so too do our moments slip away. Yesterday is gone forever. Tomorrow is not promised. All we truly have is now. And yet, how often do we live as if we have endless time? We postpone our dreams. We delay our joy. We tell ourselves, "I'll do it tomorrow. I'll start next week. I'll chase my passion when the time is right." But the river does not stop for us. The water keeps moving. And every tomorrow we wait for slowly becomes yesterday. Think for a moment about your own life. How many times have you said to yourself, "I'll call my parents later," or "I'll take that trip when I'm older," or "I'll pursue my dream when things settle down"? And how many times did later never come? How many times did life move on before you were ready? This is why the saying is true. Life does not wait for anyone. It does not care if you are tired, afraid, or uncertain. The days will still pass. The years will still turn. The river will still flow. And if we do not learn to step into it now, we will wake up one day realizing the river has already carried us far downstream. Imagine yourself standing at the bank of a great river. You want to cross, but you hesitate. You wait, thinking maybe the current will slow down. Maybe the perfect moment will come. But it never does. The current never stops. The only way forward is to step into the water today, not tomorrow. So it is with life. The perfect time will never arrive. There will always be obstacles, always be reasons to wait. But if we wait too long, we risk never living at all. Every second that passes is a reminder. This moment is unique. It will never return. The smile you share now, the kindness you give today, the dream you begin this very hour, these are treasures that time cannot steal once they are lived. And so, part one of our journey begins with this truth. Time is a river. It flows whether you move or not. It flows whether you are ready or not. You cannot stop it. You cannot slow it. You can only choose to live within it, fully, deeply, and without delay. Because life does not wait, and neither should you. Tomorrow, such a simple word, and yet it carries so much weight in our lives. We lean on it, we hide behind it, we use it as a promise, as an excuse, as a reason to delay living fully today. I'll start exercising tomorrow. I'll spend more time with my children tomorrow. I'll chase my dream tomorrow. But here is the problem. Tomorrow is an illusion. It is a shadow we can never catch. Because when tomorrow arrives, it is no longer tomorrow, it is today. And if we have not learned to live today, we will never live tomorrow either. We humans often live as if time is infinite. We assume there will always be another sunrise, another chance, another season. But the truth is harder, sharper. There is no guarantee. Life is fragile. Time is fleeting. And sometimes, the tomorrows we are counting on never come. Think of the man who spends his entire life working, saying, "When I retire, I will finally live. I will travel. I will rest. I will enjoy." And yet, retirement comes too late. His body is weary. His health is gone. Or perhaps life ends before he ever begins to live. Think of the parent who promises, "I'll play with my child tomorrow, I'll listen tomorrow, I'll be present tomorrow." But children grow quickly. One day, the parent looks up and realizes the child is no longer waiting. The opportunity to be present has slipped away. Tomorrow is a comfortable lie we tell ourselves to avoid the discomfort of action today. We imagine that one day conditions will be perfect. We will have more time, more money, more courage, more clarity. But perfection never comes. Life is never without obstacles. And so, tomorrow becomes next week. Next week becomes next year. Next year becomes never. The ancient wisdom is clear. Do not boast about tomorrow, for you do not know what a day may bring. Even in our modern age, this truth remains unchanged. Tomorrow is uncertain. All we truly own is today. So ask yourself honestly, how many dreams have you buried under the soil of tomorrow? How many joys have you postponed? How many people have you left waiting for a word, a hug, a moment that you promised would come later? The river of time does not pause for tomorrow. It flows now. The only life you can ever live is the life you choose in this very moment. So let part 2 remind us of this. Tomorrow is not real. It is a mirage. If you want to live, to love, to create, to change, do it today. Because today is the only promise life has ever given you. If tomorrow is an illusion, then what is real? The answer is simple yet profound. The present moment. This very breath you are taking, it is real. The sound you are hearing right now, it is real. The emotions stirring in your heart as you listen, they are real. Everything else, the past and the future, are shadows. The past is memory, the future is imagination, the present moment is the only place where life actually happens. And yet, most of us do not live here. Our bodies may be in the present, but our minds wander endlessly. We dwell on mistakes of yesterday, replaying them again and again, or we project into tomorrow, worrying, planning, dreaming, fearing. In doing so, we miss the miracle of now, the present as a treasure. Think of time as a string of pearls. Each pearl is a moment. If you only look at the pearls you've lost or the ones you hope to find, you miss the beauty of the one in your hand. This moment, the one you are living right now, is unique. It will never return. Once it passes, it is gone forever. Every sunrise, every smile, every word spoken in kindness is unrepeatable. You cannot step into the same moment twice. That is why the present is not just important, it is sacred. Ancient wisdom. Many spiritual traditions emphasize this truth. In Buddhism, mindfulness teaches us to return to the present, to breathe, to walk, to eat, fully aware. In Christianity, Jesus spoke, "Do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself." Each day has enough trouble of its own. Across cultures and philosophies, the message is the same. Life is only ever lived in the present. Stories of presence. Imagine a man at dinner with his family. His body is there, but his mind is on work, on bills, on tomorrow's tasks. The meal ends, but he has not tasted it. His children laugh, but he has not heard them. His spouse smiles, but he has not seen. He was present in body, but absent in soul. And so, that evening, a moment he could have cherished slipped through his fingers. Now imagine another person, sitting with the same family. He sets aside his phone, his worries, his distractions. He listens to his children's stories, laughs with them, tastes the food, looks into the eyes of the one he loves. For him, the evening is not ordinary. It is unforgettable. What changed? Nothing outside. Only his presence. The power to transform. The present has a power that the past and future do not. It is the only moment where you can act. You cannot change yesterday. You cannot control tomorrow. But you can choose this moment. You can speak kindness now. You can forgive now. You can begin now. Every great change in history, every breakthrough, every act of love began in one present moment. Someone choosing to act here and now. The invitation of now. So I ask you, Where are you right now? Are you here in this moment or lost in yesterday and tomorrow? If you want to live fully, you must return to now, again and again. When you breathe, breathe deeply. When you walk, walk with awareness. When you love, love wholeheartedly. Do not wait for tomorrow to live. Live here, live now, because the present moment is not just a slice of time, it is life itself. And if you can learn to embrace it, you will discover that even the simplest moment can shine with eternity. If the present moment is where life truly happens, then gratitude is the lens that allows us to see its beauty. Without gratitude, we rush through life blind, missing the treasures that sit quietly before us. With gratitude, even the simplest moment shines with meaning. Why we forget gratitude? In our modern world, we are taught to chase what we do not yet have. A bigger house, a better job, more money, more recognition. And while ambition is not wrong, it often blinds us to what is already here. We measure life by what is missing instead of what is present. But pause for a moment. Look around you. The fact that you can breathe, that your heart is beating, that you have another day to live, these are miracles. Yet we overlook them, taking them as ordinary, forgetting that nothing about them is guaranteed. The power of small things. Gratitude does not come from having everything. It comes from noticing the small things and seeing them as gifts. The warmth of sunlight on your face, the laughter of a friend, the simple comfort of a meal, the embrace of someone who loves you. Individually, these may seem small, but together they form the fabric of a life worth living. Without gratitude, life feels empty. With gratitude, the same life becomes rich. A story of loss and realization. Consider the person who loses someone they love. In the silence that follows, they remember all the ordinary moments they once ignored. The shared breakfasts, the casual conversations, the everyday presence of that person. Only in absence do they see what was truly priceless. Why must we wait until loss to recognize value? Gratitude is the wisdom that allows us to see now, before it is too late. Gratitude as a practice. Gratitude is not just an emotion. It is a practice. It is choosing each day to see what is already here instead of obsessing over what is missing. You can begin simply. Each morning, before the rush of the day, name 3 things you are grateful for. Write them down, speak them aloud. They can be as small as a cup of coffee, a kind word, or the ability to walk. Over time, this practice reshapes your mind. You begin to notice beauty where you once saw nothing. Gratitude and the present. Gratitude anchors us in the present moment. When you give thanks, you are acknowledging what exists right now. Gratitude says, "This moment matters. This is enough. I am blessed here." And in that acknowledgement, anxiety softens, envy fades, and peace begins to bloom. The invitation to gratitude. So let part 4 remind us. Gratitude is the art of seeing what is already in your hands. You may not have everything you desire, but you already have something worth cherishing. Do not overlook it. Do not wait for tomorrow to appreciate it. Because life does not wait, and neither should your gratitude. Everything changes. This is one of the simplest truths of life, and yet it is the hardest for us to accept. We want things to stay the same. Our youth, our relationships, our successes, our health. But impermanence is the law of existence. Nothing lasts forever. The nature of impermanence. Look at the world around you. The seasons shift. Flowers bloom and then they fade. Mountains erode, rivers carve new paths, stars are born and then die. From the smallest grain of sand to the grandest galaxy, everything carries the same signature, change. And so do we. Children grow into adults, joy turns into sorrow, and sorrow back into joy. Friends move away, loved ones pass on. Even our own bodies remind us daily of impermanence as we age, wrinkle, and eventually return to the dust from which we came. Why impermanence frightens us? We fear impermanence because we cling. We want to hold tightly to what we love, freezing it in time. But clinging to what must change is like trying to hold water in your hand. The tighter you squeeze, the faster it slips away. This fear drives much of our suffering. We grieve not only because things end, but because we resist the truth that they were always meant to, the gift of impermanence. But here is the paradox. Impermanence, though painful, is also what makes life precious. If every flower bloomed forever, we would stop noticing its beauty. If every sunrise lasted eternally, we would take it for granted. If the people we love were with us forever, we might forget to cherish them. It is the very fact that moments fade that makes them sacred. Knowing that nothing lasts urges us to live more fully, to love more deeply, to appreciate more urgently. Lessons from those at the end. Ask those at the end of life what they regret. Rarely do they say, "I wish I had made more money," or "I wish I had worked more hours." Instead, they say, "I wish I had spent more time with those I loved. I wish I had lived true to myself. I wish I had enjoyed the simple moments." These regrets are born from forgetting impermanence, from assuming there would always be more time. Learning to embrace change. When we accept impermanence, fear loses its grip. We stop clinging and begin appreciating. We stop postponing and begin living. Yes, everything changes, but that does not mean everything is lost. It means everything is a gift, temporary, fragile, and therefore infinitely valuable. The invitation of impermanence. So let part 5 remind us, life's beauty lies in its fragility. The people we love, the moments we experience, the opportunities we are given, none of them are permanent. That is why they matter so much. Instead of fearing change, embrace it. Instead of resisting impermanence, let it teach you. Let it remind you to live fully, because every moment is here only once. Because life will not wait, and neither will the moments that make it worth living. When we hear the call to live fully, some may misunderstand. They think it means chasing every pleasure, indulging every impulse, living as if there are no consequences. But that is not living fully, that is living recklessly. And recklessness, in the end, does not give us more life. It often takes life away. The misconception of living fully. For many, living fully has become a slogan for excess. Spend without thinking, party without rest, push the body to its limits, break commitments in the name of freedom. But what looks like fullness is often emptiness in disguise. Pleasure fades quickly, excess leaves us hollow, and chasing thrills without purpose leaves us more lost than before. True fullness is not about speed, indulgence, or escape. It is about depth. It is about being present, aware, and intentional in how we spend our time, our energy, and our love. The balance of living fully. Living fully means saying yes to life, but with wisdom. It means embracing joy, but not at the cost of integrity. It means seeking adventure, but not abandoning responsibility. It means using freedom, but guided by values. Think of a candle. If you want more light, you can burn it recklessly, using up the wax in one great flame. It will shine brightly for a moment, then vanish forever. Or you can tend it carefully, letting it burn steadily, filling the room with lasting light. Living fully is like the second candle, not a burst that consumes itself, but a steady flame that endures. Examples of full living. Living fully can be simple. Choosing to put away distractions to truly listen to someone you love. Taking time to walk in nature, not rushing, but breathing, seeing, feeling. Working with passion, not just for money, but because the work itself matters. Resting without guilt. Knowing that caring for yourself allows you to give more to others. These are not reckless acts, they are intentional choices that bring depth to life. The danger of recklessness. Recklessness, on the other hand, often comes from fear of missing out, fear of not being enough, fear of death itself. So we rush, consume, and chase as if to outrun time. But you cannot outrun time. The river flows the same, whether you sprint or stroll. Recklessness only makes us stumble and fall faster. Living fully as responsibility. Living fully is not selfish, it is responsible. It means recognizing the gift of each moment and not wasting it. It means honoring the people around us, the opportunities before us, and the limited time we are given. To live fully is to live wisely, with joy but also with care, with freedom but also with love. The invitation to true fullness. So let part 6 remind us, to live fully is not to live without limits, but to live with awareness. It is not to consume life, but to savor it. It is not to chase endlessly, but to embrace deeply. It is not to burn recklessly, but to shine steadily. Because life will not wait, and if you spend it recklessly, it will slip through your fingers. But if you live it fully, every moment, no matter how small, will carry the weight of eternity. Living fully is not only about enjoying the present moment, it is also about creating meaning in that moment. Pleasure can fade, but meaning endures. When you live with meaning, every day, no matter how ordinary, becomes extraordinary. What does it mean to create meaning? Creating meaning does not always require grand achievements or dramatic gestures. It is about making your time count, shaping your life into something that matters. Meaning is born whenever your actions align with your values, whenever your life touches another life, whenever your moments reflect the truth of who you are. The difference between pleasure and meaning. Pleasure is about what you receive. Meaning is about what you give. Pleasure satisfies the moment. Meaning satisfies the soul. Pleasure fades when the experience ends. Meaning grows, even long after you are gone. Both have their place, but if you want a life that feels full, not just busy, not just entertaining, but full, then you must learn to seek meaning, not only pleasure. How to create meaning in everyday life. Through relationships, every conversation is an opportunity to connect. Every act of kindness is a seed planted in another's heart. Listening deeply, forgiving generously, loving sincerely, these transform ordinary interactions into sacred ones. Through work, even the simplest task can carry meaning if done with care. A teacher who inspires, a nurse who comforts, a builder who creates a safe home, all infuse their work with significance. It is not the size of the task, but the spirit in which it is done. Through service. When you serve others, you step outside yourself. Helping a neighbor, volunteering, mentoring, even offering a smile, these acts ripple outward, creating meaning far beyond the moment. Through growth, each day is also an invitation to grow. Reading, learning, reflecting, practicing gratitude. These small acts of self-improvement add up, shaping a meaningful life over time. A story of meaning. There was once a man who walked the same path every morning to work. At the corner of the street, he passed an elderly woman sitting alone. Most people ignored her, but each day he stopped to greet her, to ask how she was, to share a smile. Years later, after he moved away, the woman told others, "He was the only one who made me feel seen." That man may have forgotten those small gestures. To him, they were ordinary, but to her, they were life-changing. Meaning is often created in moments so small we barely notice, but they can become the most significant things we ever do. The legacy of meaning. When your life ends, people will not remember how fast you lived or how much you consumed. They will remember the meaning you created, the love you gave, the kindness you showed, the difference you made. The invitation of each day. So let part 7 remind us, Every day is an empty canvas. You decide whether it is filled with emptiness or meaning. Ask yourself at the start of each morning, how can I create meaning today? It does not have to be big, it just has to be real. Because life does not wait. And if you live without meaning, it passes unnoticed. But if you choose to create meaning, each day, no matter how simple, becomes a story worth telling. To live fully, to create meaning, to embrace gratitude, all of these depend on one essential choice, the choice to be present. And make no mistake, presence is not easy. It requires courage. Why presence is hard? Our minds are restless. They wander to the past, replaying regrets, mistakes, and wounds. They wander to the future, spinning worries, plans, and fears. The present moment often feels too quiet, too simple, almost uncomfortable. So we escape it. We distract ourselves with screens, with noise, with endless busyness. We convince ourselves that multitasking means productivity, when in truth, it often means absence. We are everywhere except here. But life only happens here. The courage to be present is the courage to stop running from the only reality we have, presence as a form of love. To be present is one of the greatest gifts we can give, both to others and to ourselves. When you sit with a friend and truly listen, not waiting to reply, not glancing at your phone, not drifting in thought, you are telling them, you matter. This moment matters. That is love in action. When you spend time with a child, looking into their eyes, playing without distraction, you are not just passing time, you are shaping a memory that may last their entire life. When you give yourself presence, feeling your breath, noticing your thoughts, resting in the moment, you are practicing self-love, the kind that heals and strengthens. Presence requires courage. Why courage? Because presence demands vulnerability. When you are truly here, you cannot hide behind the past or escape into the future. You must face what is in front of you. Your emotions, your fears, your reality. It takes courage to sit with grief without numbing it. It takes courage to savor joy without fearing it will end. It takes courage to meet another person eye to eye without distraction. Presence is not avoidance, it is confrontation. It is choosing to engage fully with what is real, even when it is painful, even when it is uncertain. A story of presence. There was once a hospice nurse who cared for patients in their final days. She noticed something. Those who found peace at the end were not the ones who had lived the fastest or achieved the most. They were the ones who had learned presence. They had loved deeply, laughed fully, cried openly, and savored simple moments. Those who had run from presence often carried regret. I was never truly there. I was always somewhere else. The practice of presence. Presence can be practiced in small ways. Take one deep breath and feel it fully. When eating, taste each bite instead of rushing. When walking, notice the ground beneath your feet. When talking with someone, give them your full attention. These simple acts build the muscle of presence, and over time, presence becomes not just an act, but a way of being. The invitation of presence. So let part 8 remind us, to be present is an act of courage, a declaration that this moment is enough. Do not let your life pass while your mind is elsewhere. Be here, see, listen, feel, love, because life does not wait. And if you are not present, you will miss it. When we think of legacy, we often imagine great monuments, famous names, or achievements carved into history. But most legacies are not written in stone, they are written in moments. Small, ordinary, fleeting moments that, when woven together, become the story of a life. The true nature of legacy is not just what you leave behind after you are gone. It is the impact of how you live each day. Every word, every action, every gesture ripples outward, touching others in ways you may never see. A kind word spoken in passing, a smile offered to a stranger, a patient act of listening. These do not vanish when the moment ends. They live on in the memory of others, shaping how they see the world and even how they treat others in turn. The power of small moments. Consider a teacher who encourages a struggling student. "I believe in you." To the teacher, it may be a simple sentence, soon forgotten. To the student, it may be the spark that changes their life. Or a parent who chooses to spend time reading with their child each night. Years later, that child grows into an adult who carries not just knowledge, but the warmth of those moments. That is legacy. Legacy is not always loud or celebrated. Often, it is quiet, humble, unnoticed in the moment, but deeply remembered in the heart. Why moments matter more than achievements. Achievements fade, titles are replaced, wealth is spent, even monuments crumble. But the way you made people feel, the way you touched their lives, outlasts all of these. This is why living fully in each moment matters so much. Because you do not build your legacy at the end of your life. You build it moment by moment, conversation by conversation, choice by choice. A story of an ordinary legacy. There was a man who lived simply. He never became rich or famous. But at his funeral, hundreds of people came. They shared stories of his kindness, how he helped them fix things without asking for payment, how he always had time to listen, how his laughter lifted their spirits. He never thought he was building a legacy, yet he had. His life was a tapestry of small, meaningful moments that touched countless others. Creating your legacy now. Ask yourself, what legacy are you creating today? Not tomorrow, not in the distant future, but today. How do your words shape those around you? How do your actions echo in the lives of others? If you wait for greatness, you may miss the chance to create meaning now. But if you see each moment as an opportunity to leave something good behind, you will create a legacy more powerful than any monument. The invitation of legacy. So let part 9 remind us, your legacy is not a single grand act, but the sum of countless moments. Live today as if each moment is part of that legacy, because it island. Speak words worth remembering. Create moments worth cherishing. Love in ways that will be carried forward long after you are gone. Because life does not wait, and the legacy you leave is built in the moments you are living right now. There is a quiet illusion many of us carry, the belief that there will always be more time to love, more time to dream, more time to live. But life whispers a different truth. Time is never guaranteed. And that is why there is an urgency to now. Why we delay? We delay because we are afraid. Afraid to fail. Afraid to be vulnerable. Afraid to step into the unknown. So we hide behind excuses. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll start when I'm ready. I'll wait until conditions are perfect. But perfection never comes. Tomorrow is uncertain, and while we hesitate, life keeps moving forward. The fragility of life. Think of how fragile life island. A single accident, a single diagnosis, a single moment can change everything. We have all heard stories of people who planned for the future only to have it taken away too soon. Their dreams remained dreams because they waited too long to live them. The truth is sobering. None of us are promised another sunrise. That is why this sunrise matters. None of us are guaranteed another chance to say, I love you. That is why this chance matters. The power of immediate action. The urgency of now does not mean rushing recklessly. It means choosing to act, today, on what matters most. If you need to forgive someone, do it now. If you need to speak love, say it now. If you have a dream, begin it now. If you want to change, start now. Each step, however small, carries weight when it is taken in the present. Stories of missed chances. How many letters of love were never written? How many apologies were never spoken? How many dreams were buried? Not because they were impossible, but because someone said, "Not yet." The saddest words we can ever say are, "I thought I had more time." Living with urgency, not fear. To live with urgency is not to live with panic, it is to live with clarity. It is to recognize that this moment is precious, that your choices today are shaping your tomorrow, that your time is finite and therefore infinitely valuable. Urgency gives life intensity. It sharpens our focus. It strips away distractions. It makes us ask, what really matters? What deserves my time right now? The invitation of now. So let part 10 remind us, now is not just another moment, it is the only moment you truly have. Do not waste it waiting for a tomorrow that may never come. Do not waste it chasing what does not matter. Instead, seize it, fill it, live it. Because life will not wait, and if you wait too long, you may find that the chance you hoped for is already gone. If we wish to understand life, we need only look at the natural world around us. Nature has been our oldest teacher, whispering truths in the rustle of leaves, the rise of the sun, the rhythm of the tides. And one of its greatest lessons is this: everything has its time, and nothing lasts forever. The seasons speak. Watch the seasons. Spring arrives with blossoms and growth. Summer ripens the fruit. Autumn paints the leaves in fire and gold before they fall. Winter covers the world in silence. Each season passes in its time, and none can be rushed or delayed. Spring does not say, "Wait for me." Winter does not say, "I will last forever." Each comes, each goes, reminding us that life, too, has its seasons. Childhood, youth, adulthood, old age all unfold in their rhythm, and none can be paused. The flower's lesson. Consider a flower. It blooms brightly for a few days, turning its face toward the Sunday. Then, inevitably, its petals fall. The flower does not resist. It does not cry out against time. It simply fulfills its purpose in the brief span it is given. And in that briefness, it is perfect. How often do we, unlike the flower, resist our season? How often do we demand permanence, forgetting that beauty lies in transience? The river's wisdom. The river flows ceaselessly, never pausing, never retreating. It carves valleys, nourishes fields, carries life along its current. And yet, no drop of water ever passes the same place twice. We, too, are carried by a river of time. We can resist, struggle, and exhaust ourselves. Or we can learn from the river to flow, to adapt, to move forward without clinging. The tree's patience. Look at the tree. It does not rush to grow tall in a single day. Year by year, ring by ring, it rises steadily. Storms may break its branches, but its roots, deep and unseen, keep it standing. The tree reminds us that growth is slow, that strength is built over time, that endurance matters more than speed. The sky's perspective. Finally, raise your eyes to the sky. Clouds drift, storms gather and pass, but the sky remains. It teaches us that life's troubles are temporary. No storm lasts forever. No darkness can erase the dawn. The invitation of nature. Nature's lessons are simple but profound. Life moves in seasons, embrace each one. Beauty is fleeting, cherish it while it lasts. Time flows like a river, go with it, not against it. Growth is steady, be patient with yourself. Storms pass, hope always returns. So let part 11 remind us, nature is not separate from us, it is a mirror of our own lives. If we learn to listen, the earth will teach us how to live, fully, gratefully, patiently, and with the wisdom to see that every moment is precious because it will never return. Because life does not wait, and neither does nature. If there is one constant in life, it is change. We cannot escape it. We cannot slow it down. And yet, many of us fear it. We cling to what we know, even when it no longer serves us. We hold on to the familiar, even when it keeps us from growing. But to live fully, we must find the courage to change. Why change is frightening? Change feels risky. It means stepping into the unknown, leaving behind the comfort of what is familiar. Even if our current life is unfulfilling, at least it is predictable, and predictability can feel safe. But safe does not always mean alive. To resist change is to resist life itself, because life, by its very nature, is movement. The cost of refusing change. Think of a bird that refuses to leave the nest. It may feel safe, but it will never fly. Think of water that does not move. It stagnates, becomes stale, loses life. Refusing change does the same to us. We stagnate, we stop growing, we lose the fullness of what life could be. Stories of transformation, history and everyday life are filled with examples of those who dared to change. The person who left the job they hated to pursue a calling they loved. The one who overcame addiction by stepping into the unknown of recovery. The soul who left behind bitterness and chose forgiveness even when it hurt. Each of these changes required courage. Each was a step into uncertainty, but each opened the door to new life. Change is growth. We often think change means loss, and in some ways, it does. We must let go of the old to embrace the new. But loss is not the end, it is the beginning of transformation. The caterpillar must give up crawling to become a butterfly. The seed must break apart to become a tree. We, too, must surrender who we were in order to become who we are meant to be. Courage and the present. The courage to change can only happen in the present moment. You cannot change yesterday, you cannot change tomorrow until it arrives. You can only choose today. Will I keep living as I have, or will I take a new step? And the truth is, the step does not have to be big. Small changes, lived consistently, create transformation. A single choice today, made with courage, can reshape an entire future. The invitation of change. So, let part 12 remind us, change is not your enemy, it is your teacher. Yes, it asks you to be brave. Yes, it asks you to step into uncertainty, but it also gives you the gift of growth, renewal, and transformation. Do not fear change. Fear staying the same when life is calling you forward, because life does not wait. And if you wait too long to change, you may find the chance has already slipped away. At the heart of every human life is one truth. We are not meant to walk alone. Our days find meaning not only in what we achieve, but in the connections we create with family, with friends, with strangers, and with the world itself. Why connection matters. Think about your happiest memories. Were you alone? Or were you with someone you love, someone who saw you, someone who shared the moment? Most often, our deepest joys are tied to connection. A laugh shared, a hand held, a meal enjoyed together. These moments remind us that life's value is not in isolation, but in relationship. The poverty of loneliness. Without connection, even success feels empty. What good is wealth if you have no one to share it with? What good is achievement if there is no one to celebrate beside you? Loneliness is not the absence of people, it is the absence of meaningful connection, and it starves the soul. The small gestures of connection. Connection does not always come through grand gestures. Often, it is built in small acts repeated daily. Looking someone in the eye and truly listening. Offering kindness without expecting return. Being present without distraction for those who matter most. Choosing patience, forgiveness, and understanding over judgment. These small choices weave a web of connection strong enough to hold us through life's storms. A story of connection. There was once a man who lived alone in a city filled with people. Each day, he walked the same street, unnoticed. One morning, a shopkeeper greeted him warmly. "Good to see you today." It was a small gesture, but for the man, it was the first time in weeks that he felt seen. That greeting became the start of friendship, and the friendship gave him strength to face his struggles. Never underestimate the power of a single moment of connection. To you, it may seem small. To someone else, it may mean everything. Connection with the world. Connection is not only with people, it is with nature, with art, with the universe itself. Walking under the stars, listening to music that stirs the soul, standing at the edge of the ocean, these experiences remind us that we are part of something vast, something greater than ourselves. And in that connection, we find peace. The invitation of connection. So let part 13 remind us, life is richest when shared. The legacy you leave will not be measured by what you owned, but by how you connected with kindness, with presence, with love. Do not wait for tomorrow to build connection. Reach out today. Call someone. Listen to someone. Share with someone. Because these bonds, once created, become the threads that weave your life into meaning. Because life does not wait. And neither should our love for one another. In a world overflowing with noise, speed, and endless demands, we often believe that more is better. More possessions, more success, more experiences, more recognition. Yet again and again, life reveals a quiet truth. It is in simplicity that we often find the deepest joy. The burden of complexity. The modern world teaches us to accumulate. We fill our homes with things, our schedules with activities, our minds with distractions. But instead of feeling full, we feel heavy. Instead of freedom, we feel trapped. Complexity drains us, leaving little room for presence, gratitude, or connection. Simplicity, on the other hand, creates space. Space to breathe. Space to notice. Space to live. Simplicity in daily life. Simplicity does not mean poverty. It does not mean denying ourselves beauty or comfort. It means choosing carefully, valuing what truly matters, and letting go of what does not. A simple meal shared with loved ones can nourish more than a banquet eaten in hurry. A simple walk in nature can refresh more than hours spent chasing entertainment. A simple conversation, honest and unhurried, can heal more than 1,000 empty words. Simplicity turns the ordinary into sacred. Stories of simplicity. Many who have lived long and wisely will tell you their happiest memories are not of wealth or grandeur, but of simple times gathering with family, watching children play, working with their hands, listening to the rain. Even great spiritual leaders embrace simplicity. Buddha left behind luxury to discover truth in stillness. Jesus taught from hillsides, walking humbly with fishermen and farmers. Simplicity freed them to live fully and to give fully. Why? Simplicity matters. Simplicity matters because it sharpens focus. When you remove the clutter, whether physical, mental, or emotional, you can see clearly what matters most. You begin to realize that joy is not hidden in distant dreams, but present in small, simple moments. Simplicity also makes us free. Free from comparison, free from endless striving, free to live at a pace that honors our souls instead of exhausting them. Practicing simplicity. How can we live more simply? Declutter not only your home, but your mind. Release grudges, worries, unnecessary noise. Choose fewer commitments, but give them your full attention. Spend more time with people than with things. Seek depth over breadth, quality over quantity, meaning over excess. The invitation of simplicity. So let part 14 remind us, the richest life is not the one with the most, but the one with the most meaning. Simplicity clears the way for gratitude. It opens the door to connection. It allows us to savor the present moment without being drowned by excess. Because life does not wait. And if you spend it chasing everything, you may miss the simple treasures already in your hands. We have walked together through this journey, 15 parts of reflection, stories, and truths. And now, as we stand at the final chapter, let us return to the heart of it all. Life does not wait for anyone, so live every moment fully. Looking back on the lessons, we began by seeing time as a river ever flowing, never pausing. We learn that tomorrow is an illusion, that the present is the only place where life truly happens. We discovered the power of gratitude, the reality of impermanence, the call to live fully but not recklessly, the courage to change, and the gift of connection. We look to nature for wisdom, to simplicity for freedom, and to presence for meaning. Each part has been a reminder, a gentle but firm voice saying, "Do not wait, do not postpone, live now." The truth that cannot be escaped. No matter who you are, no matter what you have, no matter what dreams you hold, there is one truth that unites us all. Time moves forward. It will not pause for our fears. It will not slow for our excuses. It will not stop for our regrets. Life is passing right now, in this very breath. And every moment you spend waiting, doubting, or delaying is a moment you will never get back. The choice that remains. But here is the gift. While life does not wait, it always offers this moment, this breath, this chance. Right now, you can choose to live. You can forgive. You can love. You can begin. You do not need perfect conditions. You do not need certainty. You only need the courage to step into now what it means to live fully. To live fully is not to live without pain. It is not to live without struggle. It is to live with awareness, with gratitude, with presence. It is to embrace joy when it comes, to endure sorrow when it arrives, to create meaning in every season. Living fully is to see each day as a gift, each connection as sacred, each moment as irreplaceable. A final call. So as this reflection draws to a close, hear this final call. Do not wait to say the words your heart carries. Do not wait to start the journey your soul longs for. Do not wait to live the life that is calling you, because tomorrow may never come. But today is here. This moment is here, and it is enough. The legacy of this truth. If you remember nothing else, remember this. Life does not wait. It does not pause for fear. It does not wait for permission. It does not stop for hesitation. It moves forward, and the only way to truly live is to move with it, embracing each moment as if it were your last, because one day it will be. Closing words. So live with gratitude. Live with presence, live with love, live with courage, because in the end, the measure of your life will not be in how long you lived or how much you owned, but in how fully you embrace the moments you were given. And remember, always, life will not wait, so live it now.